Hello folks, welcome back to another video. We will be talking about another old defunct Roblox game called Polyguns. Polygons was created on March 26, 2016, and as of this video, it has 37 million visits and 500,000 favourites. Polygons has a like ratio of 86% with 160 likes and 23k dislikes. The game is described as a fast-paced arcade shooter with sci-fi elements, inspired by Minimum and created by Mailbox Games. Now let's get into the gameplay of Polygons. The gameplay is mostly the same as any other FPS game, like the game modes, which we will get into later, but the main selling point of Polygons were the player models, as instead of normal Robloxian models, a blocky R4 model was used. Let's call them Polygons for now. Polygons look like a perfect combination of an R4 model and a classic Roblox avatar. Matches would last for around 6 minutes, and there were multiple game modes such as Cough, King of the Hill, Team Deathmatch, and Free for All. Now, let's talk about the weapons and armaments. There are several classes of weapons: dual pistols, dual submachine guns, rifles, auto rifles, assault rifles, submachine guns, shotguns, miniguns, sniper, the flamethrower, and the swords. The main way to unlock these weapons is to find the blueprint for them in crates, and then you will be able to purchase them. You can unlock them, but it costs 10 times the price. On the topic of crates, there are weapon crates, armor crates, epic crates, XP crates, credit crates, and legendary crates that spawn randomly around the map. Players could also equip armor that had numerous benefits, like more health, damage, or speed, but some armors could also lower these stats in favour of improving others, like the Hyper Assassin, which makes you fast but with low HP, and the Infernus, which gives you high HP but lower walk speed. You can also purchase equipment that can help you in matches. First up are the jet boots. These babies can launch you up in the air. Next up we have the dash. The dash allows you to, well, dash forward in a flash. Ooh, now we have the jetpack. This is basically a stronger, better, more expensive jet boots. And if you equip the right set of armor, you'll be able to use the jetpack to reach places you normally wouldn't be able to. And lastly we have the turret. They will shoot at enemies and you can place down only 3 at a time. There's also the cloak, damage boost and shield generator, but I'm too poor to afford those and I don't want to be grinding. Now, let's move on to how Polygons performed. The gameplay loop was pretty simple, just fight enemies or do the map objective, and it performs quite well. I personally didn't experience any lag, but that might be because of my computer. And there aren't really any game passes, at most being able to purchase crates. From my knowledge, Polygons was praised and players loved it. The game was fun, it was simple, it was fast paced, and overall, it was a blast. But of course, every rose has its thorns. One of the biggest issues was the balancing, and for the best example of this, let's talk about the Rail Overlord, which is what I was called in college, yuck. The Rail Overlord is a weapon made in hell. Allow me to list off its stats from the wiki. It has a fire rate of 3 RPS, 180 RPM. Its range is 999 studs, it has 0 spread, it does 170 damage, pretty sure that's on a body shot too, Jesus Christ. Even the wiki acknowledges this. Quote, the railgun is what many consider to be the best sniper in the game, end quote. Now you would think obviously such a powerful sniper would only have 1 bullet in its chamber at all times and have a massive reload time. Well, you would be wrong, and that's where the balancing problem comes into play. It has not 1, not 2, but 3 bullets, and you would at least think you would have to wait a little before shooting the next one, but you're wrong since you can shoot like right after firing the first one, and the reload only takes like 1 to 2 seconds. And this sniper doesn't even slow you down, this thing dominates new players. Another problem is that there was no tutorial, so new players had to learn from trial and error, which isn't the worst way of learning a game, but in a game like Polygons, I don't think it works. Another issue is that the game could be grinding and annoying, especially since you could be struggling to get one specific item from a crate, but just fail to get it every time you open that specific crate. I think that's all for complaints. Now, normally, this would be the part where I do a Q&A with the devs, but I tried really hard to get in contact, but to no avail, so unfortunately, we have to skip this. But I was able to find some photos of 2 unfinished maps, so let's get into that. First up, we have this facility looking map. It looks like some sort of power plant thing or storage thing. I shouldn't be really trying to make sense of this, but devs probably made it based on gameplay. It looks really good, and it would have been a blast to play on. I really like these control panels. It's such a shame this map got scrapped. Lastly, we have this map, which looks like some sort of gladiator arena. This map was probably way more unfinished than the giant factory map, so there's not much to say about it. In the background you can see the ship from the colony map, which is a pretty nice detail. But something I need to talk about is that mech. From what I know, these screenshots are the only appearance of this mech throughout the entirety of Polyguns. This in itself opens up a whole can of worms, like what was it going to be used for? Could you drive or be the mech? Was it going to be used for a Juggernaut style game mode? I'm really curious about this, and it's so cool. It's always the coolest shit getting scrapped, man. Now we will be talking about the weapons, kinda. I found some photos of all the weapons, including some that never made it into the game, and we'll be taking a look at them. I'll quickly show the photos on screen, then we'll get into it. Alright, first up we have the pulse weapons. The very clear difference is them being red instead of blue, like in the game. So it's pretty clear that this photo was taken in an early stage of development. I think the reason they changed the colour was because they were already red weapons. Moving on, we got the rifles, along with some of the snipers and a minigun. I'm not sure there's much to say about this photo. Next, we have this, and boy there is some stuff to talk about. First up are these melee weapons. We have this wild, savage, tetanus-causing blade. I could see this having long range and doing serious damage but a low swing speed. Now we have this hammer. I'm not sure what its stats could be, but it reminds me of those railway worker hammers. Now let's talk about this black gun. I'm not sure I've seen it anywhere, but I might be wrong. It could have been a shotgun or a rifle. Next up we have this. Obviously we need to talk about that lightsaber. I think this could have had a fast swinging speed, medium-ish damage and a short range. I don't think I recognise any other odd weapons in this image, but if you do, please let me know in the comments. And lastly we have these. And now I can confidently say that this gun is not in the game. I'm really hoping I didn't just miss it because I double checked and I'm sure it isn't. It could have been another shotgun due to how similar it looks to the Undertaker, but that's just a guess. Lastly, we have some photos of all the outfits. I'll show them on screen, along with putting an arrow on outfits that I don't think are in the game. I won't go too deep into this because I might have a stroke if I do. Now it's time for our last topic. Why did Polygons fall off? Well, there were a multitude of reasons, like the devs moving on, newer and better games, people losing interest, and overall, it just wasn't going to last. Which brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe.